Hello,
Hello,
I'm Allie,
and I am Melissa.
and welcome to Liverpool, USA. This is a best friends podcast because we are best friends.
Yes, we are. And what are we talking about today?
We're talking about movies,
Yeah.
and this is an interesting topic because I would not refer to either one of us as like a film buff.
No, I don't particularly like I love the arts. I love
Mm-hmm.
movies,
Yeah,
but
yeah, me
I'm
too.
not it's not like if I was going to consume a media, movies are not like the top thing on my list.
No, me
I
either.
haven't seen I very much am one of those people that like hasn't seen a movie and other people are like, "Oh my god, you haven't seen this movie?" Like I have not
Yeah,
seen a lot of movies
me too. Me
that it
too.
seems like everybody else has seen.
Me too. So
Eh,
I think that's
yeah.
kind of a giant disclaimer on this episode
Yeah.
because we are about to talk about movies we think are important to us
Yeah.
and maybe, to society or something. But
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
what do we know?
I did make like not seeing like the prompts or anything for this and just kind of like thinking about today I was thinking about like, oh, what are some movies that are significant to me? And today as I was thinking just like kind of throughout my day at work and whatever, like, oh, like maybe what was my favorite movie as a kid, or what movies mean a lot? What are my favorite movies? And I came up with a list of 4. Do you want me to just like say the 4 movies that I thought about today when I was walking around
Sure,
before we
yeah,
start? Okay.
go off.
Because I literally just thought of 4, and
Mm-hmm.
it's Fly Away Home,
Okay,
Almost Famous,
okay,
Pirates of the Caribbean, and
okay.
and the SpongeBob movie.
Oh my god.
That is
Guess
my
how
list
many
of
of those
movies.
movies I've seen. Just guess how many of those movies I've
Uh,
seen.
one of them, two of them,
One of
one
them,
of them. Which one?
and it was Pirates of the Caribbean.
You never saw the SpongeBob movie? I'm literally doing it to you right
No,
now. I'm doing the thing.
I know. No, I've never seen the SpongeBob movie.
I'm pretty
I
sure we
wasn't
owned it
allowed
on
to watch.
VHS.
Oh,
Yeah.
I wasn't allowed to watch SpongeBob when I was a kid.
Oh, I think you told me that before. That's
Yeah,
tragic because I was literally raised like my dad liked SpongeBob, so
yeah.
I am very well versed in SpongeBob. But like the original SpongeBob, I don't know if they're like the new ones or whatever. Like no. I
Hmm. Hmm.
also VHS. I think we owned like a sponge, like not all the episodes, but like a VHS that had like a handful of episodes on it. Yeah,
Okay.
the
Hmm.
SpongeBob movie is pretty important to me.
So you did have a VHS player as a
Yes,
child.
yes, yes, we
Yes, I
did.
did too. I
Yeah.
did too. That was our original movie watching setup.
Yep.
We had this like huge bin of them.
Hmm.
They were extremely well organized because my mother is my
Oh.
mother.
Yeah.
And they lived under the couch. I remember
Oh.
this. It was like this bin that like fit underneath our
Oh
couch. We would
wow.
like
That's
pull
kind
the
of
bin
cool.
out and like decide which VHS tape we were gonna
Yeah.
play.
I don't remember where all of ours were, but I think they were like somewhat organized. But we had, and we didn't have a ton,
Hmm.
I don't think, but we had the Shrek movie. We had like Ace Ventura. We had Turner and Hooch, is that what it's called? Um, I
Um,
don't remember that one very well. Yeah, we had like those. I'm pretty sure the SpongeBob movie was on VHS.
we had this movie, and I do not know what it was called. Probably this is a famous movie, and I don't know what it is. But it had this oh no, I think it was a weasel. I think this is such like a cursed memory, but I there was this movie that we had on VHS that we would watch freaking constantly, um, and it had a. I actually don't think it was a weasel, but it like looked like a weasel, but it was like, what is that?
Was it a cartoon?
Yeah, and it like what are the? This makes me sound so dumb. What are those? Like
Ferret?
animals from like freaking like New Zealand or Australia that like look like weasels kind of.
Ferrets, stouts.
Oh.
Stouts? Is that what they're called?
No, like it's called like it's something like that sounds scary.
Oh my god, I don't know. We both just kind of sound Tasmanian devil.
Oh, it might have been.
Those are like cute and small, but they're like evil.
It might have been a Tasmanian Devil. I wonder if I can figure out what the Tasmanian Devil movie was live on air. It wasn't. Okay. Anyways, I'm gonna give up on this.
Yeah,
But
you could try like texting your sister or your mom.
my dad would be the one who knew.
Oh yeah.
But anyways, it's not Space Jam. That is what's coming up. It's not Space Jam.
Rich might have had Space Jam on VHS. I feel like Rich is probably where a lot of the movies came from, actually. Like the VHS movies, yeah.
Yeah, we had like a lot of Disney stuff, and then we had a bunch of random like weird British ones, which this one really funny. Was in Australia, but I think it was like a British.
Oh.
Like British people know about it. Anyways, this has been such a like weird opening. Yeah, but anyways, yeah. So we did have a bunch of VHS tapes. We had lots of Disney movies and things like that on VHS. And I remember we had this one Tasmanian Devil movie. I think it was. I honestly could not even tell you if it was actually a Tasmanian Devil. Also, the title that's coming to mind is Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, but it's not that.
Oh.
That's not.
Okay. Very interesting. I'm very interested to hear if you figure out what it is, like, on this podcast or afterwards, but
oh my
as
God,
your brain thinks. So I'm looking at the questions that you have here, and I really like them. I would like to, like, go through some of these. But the first one, like, did you rent from, like, a movie rental place? Yeah. And we did. We had a Hollywood Video that we used to go to actually quite often that was in Hermiston as a kid. And I think we literally called it the movie rental place. Like, we didn't call it Hollywood Video or anything. But we did used to do that, which was fun. And then it became Crazy Mike's movie rental. That was also, they also had, like, Hollywood Video had an attachment that was Game Freak. Is that what it's called? Where you had games. That's where we got, like, our Pokemon games and stuff. But anyway, that's not movies, so. But.
Oh my God, I just.
Like... Did you find it?
I did.
What is it?
Was a mongoose.
A mongoose! Oh my God, I would have thought that eventually.
Tabby.
Oh.
Ricky Tikki Tavi, which is why I was thinking Chitty Chitty Bang Bang.
Yeah, so, like, you're close.
But it was this, like, 1975 movie.
Oh my God. And it's animated.
Yeah, it's animated, and it's about a mongoose named Ricky Tikki Tavi. It is narrated by Orson Welles.
Okay. So it has some cultural significance, I guess?
I guess. It is. Okay, it's an English family living in India.
What?
I knew it was British in some way, too.
Yeah.
But anyways, it's like this mongoose, and then the snake comes and, like, tries to eat the the snake is gonna kill the family, but then the mongoose, like, protects them and saves them.
Interesting.
I was terrified of this movie.
Yeah. That's so funny that you remember that, like, so vividly.
Oh my God. But yeah, I was trying really hard to get there. And I'm sorry I interrupted.
That's okay. It's important. Oh my God.
But yeah, that movie was called Ricky Tikki Tavi. That is my core VHS memory.
Unfortunately, my core VHS memory is Ace Ventura. The one with the bat. Have you seen any of the Ace Ventura movies?
I've seen, like...
Oh, I think we had Dumb and Dumber too.
Oh my God, yeah. Yeah, I've seen a couple of them, I think, but not...
I want to say there's only two. There's the one with the bat and the one with the dolphin.
Yeah, I remember the dolphin.
Oh, I remember the bat one a lot more because we had it on VHS, and for whatever reason, we watched it as a child.
Yeah.
So, yeah. That could explain some things.
So anyways, back to Blockbuster.
Yeah. We didn't have a Blockbuster. We had Hollywood Video, but you had a Blockbuster?
Yeah. I don't know that we did when I was, like, young. Because, like, at first, I mean, maybe I just didn't know, because what do I know? At age 6, I guess. But we had a bunch of VHS tapes. Like, I remember that. And I remember we started getting DVDs, like, owning DVDs at some point. And then it was, like, a little bit into when we started owning DVDs that we started, like, my mom would take me and my sister to Blockbuster, and I think we had another one besides Blockbuster. I don't think we went to Blockbuster itself every time, but we did have one in Medford eventually. And I don't know if we had it the whole time and we just went other places, or if it was new at some point.
Oh,
But
interesting.
we would go, my mom would take me and my sister, and we would pick out, we each got to pick out like one movie that we wanted, and my mom would pick something out for her and my dad or something, you know. And so then we started doing that a lot, and that was cool because, you know, when we wanted to watch a, like when we wanted to have a movie, like a DVD, you know, my mom would be like, well, is this one that we like need to own in our library of DVDs? You know, because she would be like, is this a movie that you like really want, or, you know, or what? Because some of the movies, you know, like I remember like the first Harry Potter movie, that was like an easy sell to like get my mom to like
Yeah.
purchase that DVD, you know, because she was like, oh yeah, like of course we would want to like have that and watch it lots of times.
Yeah.
But I remember, you know, like lots of like random kid movies, she'd be like, I don't know that we need to like purchase this,
Yeah.
you know. And so once we started going to Blockbuster, that was fun because yeah, then I could justify like any movie I wanted, basically. You know, I could be like, I want to watch this.
Yeah.
And it was,
yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember going and getting to like pick out a movie every once in a while, and yeah. I have fond memories of like the aisles of Hollywood Video, then Crazy Mike's.
Yes.
It's gone now, of course, unfortunately,
yes.
but
yes.
yeah. Did you sorry.
Oh, my grandparents lived in Brookings, Oregon, and they had it wasn't a Blockbuster, but it was, I don't remember what, I think it was called Sunset Video, maybe. But theirs was really fun, and lasted a really long time. Like it's still, I'm sure it's got to be closed now, but it was still around when I was in high school for sure.
Oh wow.
Like, and maybe even up until like a little bit recently.
Oh wow. Yeah, I want to say Crazy Mike's, I'm pretty sure that's what it was called, was open I think until we were in college. So like,
yeah,
I was pretty impressed.
Yeah, and my grandparents would go, like, even, you know, once they had streaming services and all of this stuff,
oh
right?
yeah,
like,
yeah.
They would still go and pick out a movie at the movie store, or at the movie, the video rental. And my parents actually had Netflix when Netflix was like,
oh yeah, when you like ordered it in the mail or whatever.
Yeah, and you would get one movie on a DVD in the mail, and you would watch it, and then you would send it back and get another one. And my parents did that like until recently.
Wow, I remember when that was a thing, but no one that I was like my family didn't do it. But I remember like the commercials.
Yeah. Well, because I mean, my mom was all about not having to go to a place to do things.
Oh,
you know, so we were already doing like Blockbuster stuff. And so then as soon as she was like, oh my gosh, we can just do this like through the mail, that was a big moment.
Yeah. Did you ever go to the movie theater as a kid? Do you remember the first movie that you saw in a movie theater?
I don't remember the first movie that I saw. I have two like kind of core memories. One was, I think it was my 7th birthday or my 8th birthday. I don't remember which one. But I had my birthday party was to like go to the movies. And so it was like me and like, I don't know, 5 friends or whatever, like went to the movie theaters to see, and I remember the movie that we saw that was like in theaters on my 8th birthday or 7th birthday was Madagascar, the first Madagascar.
Oh my god, yes.
And so it was like a core experience to be sitting, you know, in a row, like having the freaking time of my life. It is my birthday. My like 3 best friends are sitting next to me, and this is the first time I'm hearing King Julian sing I Like to Move It, Move It.
I think that we saw that in the theaters too, and it was also like a very specifically good time in my childhood.
Yeah. So that was, I'm sure, not the first time that I went to the movie theater. I'm sure I went much younger than that. But that is like the first one that I remember like seeing that movie. And I also remember, so I started reading the Harry Potter books with my mom. My mom read them out loud to me. Like I could read and everything, but she just like read them out loud to me. And so what we would do is we would read the book and then we would watch the movie. We would see the DVD movie. like as we went. So we would finish the book, and then that night we'd watch the movie, and then eventually we caught up to where the movies were, because I think when we started reading them, only like the first 3 movies were out, I want to say. Because this would have been probably like 2004 or 5, 2005 probably. And so yeah, the first Harry Potter movie came out in like 2001, I think. So it was pretty concurrent, basically. And so then once we caught up, of course we couldn't like watch the movie right after we finished the book anymore. So it was a big moment. I think the first Harry Potter movie that I saw in theaters was the 4th Harry Potter movie.
Oh wow.
And it was like right when it like came out, right when I was like in the middle of reading Harry Potter for the first time. And so it was like, that was like something very important, culturally significant. Like I knew that I was part of like seeing Harry Potter for the first time.
Yeah, that's really cool. Yeah. I
Yeah.
didn't get into Harry Potter until I think like a little bit later, and then I was really into it, but it wasn't until like junior high, because the only Harry Potter movie that I was like an aware fan when it came out were the last 2. And I remember it was like a huge deal.
Yeah.
But like my stepsister, I think, was big into Harry Potter, because I remember like hearing about it, and I think I like saw some of the movies or like the first one or whatever, but I was a little bit late to the party. But that's really sweet that you were like a part of that, and it's like significant, like going to see those movies.
Yeah.
I'm sure that was like a really great time to like see them when they came out.
It was super cool. And I remember like another thing that was important about that, and I think the 4th Harry Potter movie came out when I was in 2nd or 3rd grade. So that was about when I
Wow.
I saw it in theaters.
That's so cool.
And I remember like this was when I was understanding that like book to movie adaptations are not like,
oh yeah, not the same. Yeah.
yeah. And yeah, it was, so that was like kind of something that I had to like learn and understand, and something that I was getting used to. And I also remember that my mom, when she read the books out loud to me, pronounced some of the like wizard things like differently, because it's like, how would she know how to pronounce it?
Yeah. That's
and
funny.
So then hearing it like pronounced differently in the movie, I don't know, all these things that go from like a book to a movie adaptation.
Yeah.
I like found out about all of that kind of like thing through Harry Potter, and I remember that being like pretty formative to me, I think.
Yeah. I think that the best, to my knowledge so far, book to movie adaptation would have to be Holes.
Wow, okay.
Yeah.
I
just remember that being really satisfying. Like I actually think like we read Holes in school and then watched the movie. And it being like, this is right. This is how this should have been. I should watch it again. Holes is a good movie. Did you ever see Holes?
Yeah, I did.
Good.
Yeah, and I read the book. I think in elementary school, so I don't.
Oh.
I don't remember it super well. Like I remember the plot, but I don't remember like specific shots in the movie or anything.
Oh yeah, I've seen it at least a couple times in my life.
Yeah. I would say my favorite book to movie adaptation, and I think this is a very cliche answer, but I'll say it anyways. And in fact, I think that this is I have often been known to say that this is the only movie that is better than the book that it's based off of. And that is The Perks of Being a Wallflower.
Did I read the book? Oh my god, I don't remember if I've read the book. I saw the movie in high school, and of course, like, my whole group of friends was obsessed with it. And I own the book, and I want to say I've read it, but maybe that says something if I don't remember if I've read the book.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's the type of movie that would override the book a little bit. And I think that the book is pretty good too. And I don't think that The Perks of Being a Wallflower is like the best movie of all time. I think it's good, but I don't think it's like the best movie of all time. But I think specifically as like an adaptation of a book, I think it does it like extremely well. And I think that it does a better job of telling the story that the story is trying to tell, I guess, than the book does.
Okay. to take it back to the movie theater thing, because I think I have like a couple things to say about that.
Yeah.
Is this couldn't have been the first movie that I saw in the movie theater, but it's the first one that I remember, and it was definitely one of the first movies, if not the first. Oh my god, it couldn't have been, but it was because it was 3D Spy Kids. Spy Kids?
Oh my god.
Yeah. And I
Freaking
know that was
3D movies.
one of the first movies I saw in the theaters, and I don't remember the movie at all, but I remember that it was in, because Hermiston has like a big cinema now, but in the same like vicinity.
I'm sorry.
It's so loud.
It's like still happening.
Yeah. In the same vicinity, like in the parking lot, is the old theater that I remember going to as a child, and now it's a big Goodwill.
Oh, interesting.
Which is kind of funny, yeah. And it's so much smaller than like the new one. You're like, this was the theater, yeah. Now I'm just remembering theater moments. Remember when the One Direction movie came out? Nicole and I decided, like, we weren't particularly huge fans of One Direction or anything, but we were like, this will be fun. Let's go see it. Whatever, like. It should be fun. And we actually saw it twice because the second time there was a girl on the cheer team that I was on that wanted to go see it, and so we went to go see it with her. But the first time, Nicole and I went, and we were the only people in the entire theater. As the only time that has ever happened to me. And we ended up, like we started sitting right next to each other. And then as the movie went on, it was like clearer and clearer that no one else was going to be in the room with us. So we ended up like on almost the complete opposite sides of the theater, just like doing whatever we wanted. Yeah, that was super fun. But yeah, I used to love going to the movies. And now I just like, I think it's fun sometimes. Justin and I just went to see the Bob's Burgers movie on his birthday because he wanted to see it really bad, which was actually really cute. I enjoyed it. But but now I'm like, yeah, it's fun sometimes, but I'd like rather be at home where I could like pause it to go to the bathroom and I like know everybody that's there. It's just like strangers reacting. Like I still think it's an experience that's like worth having, but I've grown to like, I don't love it as much anymore.
I am really the same way. There are some movies that I do want to see in theaters, and I am happy to go do that when it's that time. Like I saw the newest Spider-Man when that came out. I saw that in theaters.
The like superhero movies, I've seen 2 Spider-Man movies, maybe 3. And I love Spider-Man. I think if I had to pick, I'm not super into like the superhero thing, but if I had to pick a favorite one, it would be Spider-Man.
Mine is Spider-Man. Like definitively it is Spider-Man. That's like, so actually I haven't told you about this little project that I'm working on.
Oh yeah.
But because I've got lots of projects.
Oh yeah.
But so Abe and I are watching all of the Marvel movies in chronological order. And not in release order, in chronological
which
order.
must be messed up at this point, right? Because there's so many.
Yeah, it's absurd. And we're about like halfway through, and we're kind of like logging our thoughts as we go and ranking things and all of this. And it's been super fun. I kind of didn't think that it would be as fun as it has ended up being.
Oh yeah.
I kind of just like had this idea, and then I was like, yeah, let's like do it. And I do like Spider-Man. Like I had seen all of the Spider-Man movies, but I hadn't seen like any other Marvel movies. I had seen Endgame, which is like the big one, and then I had seen all the Spider-Man movies, and I had not seen anything else. And so I was like, I think we should do this. And Abe, of course, was like super into it. And so we've been doing that, and it's actually been really fun. Like, I'm actually having a lot of fun with it. So anyways.
Good. Which is funny because what I was going to say is that I have seen hardly any superhero movies. And they always, like, the trailers always look, like, super cool. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I want to see that one. And then I never do. Like, I remember when, like, specifically, I remember when, like, Black Panther came out. And I was like, oh, that looks so cool. And I was like, I'm going to go see it. Didn't. Any of the Spider-Man movies, I'm like, oh my gosh, I love Spider-Man. I want to see at least this one. Don't see it. Like, I want to.
You should.
But
you should.
I don't know why. I just, like, haven't. And at this point, it's so deep of a hole that I'm like, oh my god, how do I... But, yeah, I've seen, like, 2 or 3 Spider-Man movies. I saw the Wonder Woman movie because it was on the plane, like, on the way to England or from England or whatever. I've seen The Dark Knight. I don't remember it super well. but at least I've seen
Oh
that
yeah. Oh
one.
my god, I freaking watched the new Batman that Robert Pattinson is in.
Yeah, I kind of want to see it.
It's not good, girly.
No,
It's so bad.
that's so funny because there are people who are really, really into movies that
I
like it.
I know. I think I have a bad opinion, but like I don't have the widely held opinion, but I think
Oh,
it's really really
I kind of
bad.
want to. That almost makes me want to see it more. I'm like, what's happening here? Especially because I know so little about Batman. I want to see the emo
Yeah.
Batman movie, but
It is. I
yeah.
will say one thing about that movie is I do think that Robert Pattinson is the correct choice.
Oh, okay, okay.
So
And I think that what's her name? Lenny Kravitz's
Zoe
daughter, Zoe
Zoe
Kravitz.
Kravitz, yeah.
I mean, she's hot.
Yes.
So.
I literally okay. My friend from school, Nicole, she was the one who wanted to watch it, and she was like, "I just want to see it because Zoe Kravitz
Yeah,
is hot."
yeah.
I was like, you know
It's
what?
so
Fair,
funny.
we're gonna watch it.
It's so funny. Yeah, I have seen I think I saw the end of the Iron Man movie once. Oh, I've seen the Deadpool movies. I like the.
Oh,
I love
I
the
haven't
Deadpool
seen
movies.
those.
Oh, you haven't? I love the
No.
Deadpool movies. It's the only ones that I'm like interested to see. I've seen the
That's so
Guardians
funny.
of the Galaxy movies. Two of them.
Yeah, there's two. There's only two.
There's only two. Yeah, I saw those.
Yeah.
I saw those.
Abe and I are.
Those are cute.
That is exactly where we are in the Marvel movies. Is we just watched Guardians of the Galaxy 1 and 2.
Oh yeah, yeah. Are the Deadpool movies in that?
No,
In that collection, in that series?
I don't think so.
What is that's Marvel, right?
I don't think it is.
Yeah, because Spider-Man is Marvel.
Yeah,
So,
but
and
only
Deadpool
the new Spider-Man.
What?
Only
But
the new
Spider-Man is
Spider-Man.
Marvel.
Well, yes, but so like, but the Marvel.
Oh, they created
cinematic...
like the MCU, the modern MCU. Oh, okay. Interesting. Yeah. Interesting. See, this is why I don't even try. It's so confusing to me.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But yeah, anyways, I would love to know more about. So I assume that the movies that you said at the beginning were movies that were important to you as a kid.
Okay, so the first two, Fly Away Home and Almost Famous are my two favorite movies of all time. Fly Away Home, and also you need to watch both of them because they're my favorite movies of all time. And I feel like you will like understand more about me if you watch those movies, especially Fly Away Home.
Tell me what the plot of Fly Away Home is because it sounds familiar, but I don't.
So it's in the very beginning. This isn't a spoiler because it's in the very beginning. There's this younger girl. She's like maybe in high school. I think she's like 14. I don't remember. She's pretty young. She gets in a car accident with her mom, and her mom dies. And she moves.
I totally have seen this movie.
Oh, really? She moves to Canada to live with her dad, who's an artist.
Yes.
Oh my god, that's amazing. And it's like, this is one of those movies that I'm like, no one else knows what this movie is. I grew up with it as a kid, and I don't know where it came from.
You know who loves this movie? My grandma.
I love that.
It is.
But yeah, so you know, she like finds these goose eggs because her dad lives like on this big plot of land, you know, with like just pasture and trees and everything for like acres or whatever, and she finds these goose eggs after the like city or whatever like plows some of the forest down, and she raises these geese and then she flies them south for the winter basically, and her dad like builds her a little plane, and I just like I don't even, and I mean, I know that it's because I grew up with it as a child and I loved it as a child, and that's why I'm connected with it, but there are things about that movie that I feel like are like very personal to me. Like my mom and dad are separated, for one. Yeah. And they always have been, so that was like relatable to me as a child, I guess, in like a weird way, because they're not separated like tragically, like, you know, in this movie, like her mom dies and everything, which like, you know, I obviously like I haven't experienced, but like, and also her dad's like an artist, my dad's an artist, so it's just like that kind of vague, like a different kind of artist, you know, but like very similar. And just the whole like aesthetic of the movie I really love.
I can see really clearly like why you are attracted to this movie.
There's a really specific scene in that movie that, And it would take like an essay. It would take a long time for me to eloquently explain why this is maybe my favorite scene in the movie. But she finds like I think it's in like the barn, and there's this like chest of these clothes that I assume belong to her mother at some point. And she like and I think all the little baby like geese are there. This is also probably where my love of birds came from, because I love birds a lot.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
she like is putting on these clothes, and there's like this cute music playing, and she's like, like being like in her mom's
Aw.
clothes. It's just this very like
That's really
peaceful
sweet.
moment. It's really sweet, and it stands out to me a lot. But like I said, I can't really pinpoint exactly why, but there's just something about it. So that movie is one of my favorite movies of all time, just because like I grew up with it. We had it on DVD.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I just think, and the actress's name is Amy, which is funny because like our best friend since like first grade's name is Amy. Um, and then Almost Famous is like my
Hmm.
current favorite movie. I saw it for the first time I think in high school, and
Uh-huh.
it's written by one of my two favorite writers of all time, which is Cameron Crowe, and
Hmm.
that's about a boy, which is kind of based on Cameron Crowe's life. A very similar thing happened to
Yeah.
him. Um,
Yeah.
so it's like based on that largely. But it's
Yeah.
this like kind of like this genius kid. He's like, he's like been bumped up a few grades. So he's like in
Yeah.
high school, but he's pretty young. And he's a really, really good writer. He's a really good journalist. And he connects with this like local guy who's a music writer, who writes for Cream, which is a real music magazine.
Yes.
And then he somehow gets a deal to write for the Rolling Stone, or he goes to interview a band. I think he went to interview Led Zeppelin, and he ended
Mm.
up talking. He ended up meeting some groupies for like I think it was the opening band in the movie. They're called Stillwater, and
Hmm.
right, yeah, that sounds wrong for some reason.
Yeah.
And so
No, I think you're right.
yeah, so he meets these groupies and they like get him in, and he talks to this band, and he has this connection, and then he somehow gets a deal with Rolling Stone. In the movie, Rolling Stone doesn't know that he's like a kid. He's talking to this guy, like an editor on the phone, and they think he's like, like maybe college age, like
Yeah. Yeah.
with a
Yeah.
little more. But this kid's just like a writer that's like, beyond his years. He's like really good. So he gets this deal with Rolling Stone to tour with this band, to write this big feature on them. And so the movie is him like touring with this band, and he's like, having, and the like main groupie girl is Penny Lane, and she's like iconic, and it's like their relationship,
Yeah.
and there's the music, and there's the writing, and there's like, I mean, there's so many reasons why this is my favorite movie that I feel like could be very
Hmm.
obvious to people who know me.
Yeah. Yeah.
um
Yeah. Yeah.
Cuz like that's one of the things that I would love to do. I would love to be a music journalist.
Yeah.
And so it's just like I love the whole movie. It's so great.
Wow.
And I figured out relatively recently there's a lot of weird things about this movie and about Cameron Crowe, but like the main one that I can remember is the main girl in Fly Away Home plays one of the groupies in Almost Famous.
Oh my God. Full
And I'm
circle.
like, what? Like that doesn't mean anything at all, but it's just
Yeah.
like very funny to me. Like it's very
Yeah.
weird. Yeah, and there's like a lot of really weird ways that like Cameron Crowe connects with my life.
Hmm.
He dated, was he married to her? I don't know if they were married. One of the girls in Heart, and it was the same one that went to Pacific University,
Oh.
where I went to
Wow.
college. Yeah. He has twins. I think they're
Oh.
boys, which is just kind of funny,
Much to
right?
think about.
Like these like things that literally don't mean anything, but I'm connecting dots that don't mean literally
Yeah.
anything. It's
Yeah.
just like kind of funny. Um yeah, I think one of the first bands he wrote about was the Allman Brothers band. He like, and
Oh
maybe
yeah.
Greg
Yeah.
Allman, who wrote the
Yeah.
Melissa, the song that I'm like named after kind of. So,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's just like all very like I need to
Interesting.
meet
Yeah.
this man. I like want him to be my mentor. I know that that's not going to happen, but I'm like, please share your knowledge with me. I'm like obsessed. I remember reading
Yeah.
this article in Rolling Stone magazine about Harry Styles, and I think I just like randomly picked it up and read it. And then later, and I was like, oh my god, this is brilliantly written. Like I love the way it was written. It was so good. And then I figured out like later that it was written by Cameron Crowe, and I'm like, this man is following me
Mm.
around. So
Yeah.
anyway, I can go on about that forever, but those were on my list because they're like my top two favorite
Gotcha.
movies of all time. And before I say anything about Pirates of the Caribbean or the SpongeBob movie or anything else, I want to know: do you have favorite movies?
I don't think that I could say that I have a favorite movie and this is what it is. Like, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
One that comes to mind, and I am not claiming this to be my favorite movie, but one that comes to mind when I start thinking about favorite movies is Lady Bird.
Oh my god! Wait a second. No, no. Keep talking.
It has what is her name? Saoirse Ronan.
Saoirse Ronan?
So yeah,
Yes, she was awful in The Host. I watched that
yeah.
movie recently. Because I saw that it was called Lady Bird, and I like those like coming of age movies like and stuff.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
actually into those. I like those.
Yeah,
I thought
I
that
am.
was a good movie. I was afraid to watch it because she was so bad in The Host.
Yeah, I think in general she's not a bad actress.
Yeah,
but
I think that movie was just not good.
probably, yeah.
Yeah.
I think she's particularly good in Lady Bird, and there's something really specific about Lady Bird that I like relate to. I think too
Yeah.
much that makes that movie like imprinted on me, you know?
Oh,
Like
yeah.
I cannot get through that. Like, I've seen that movie probably like 5 or 6 times,
Wow,
and I
really?
cannot get through it without crying.
Oh my
Like, I
god.
sob my eyes out every time I
Wow.
watch
I
it.
probably cried. The thing with that movie for me, and
Mhm.
because you said that you relate to it a lot, the thing with that movie for me is there are like moods and vibes that I can relate to.
Yeah.
But the thing with that movie that and I actually like literature and art that is like this in certain
Mhm.
ways is that there are moods and vibes that I can relate to, but to me it's really interesting because I know that life like timelines like that, like events like that happen to young people her age in that movie. Like it's a very like seemingly true story movie, but that's like not how my childhood was. Like I think that
Mhm.
there were things that I related to, but there were other things that were like, wow, stuff like this happens to people that I like know
Yeah.
that like other people and like maybe even you relate to that like I didn't
Yeah.
experience as like a young person. So it's really interesting how there's kind of like the same feelings for different timelines, if
Yeah.
that makes any sense.
No, it does. It does. I think this is why like Lady Bird gets to me like so specifically
Yeah.
is that there's something I mean, because like the actual plot, like what's actually going on the screen, is like a little bit relatable for me, I guess. Like, there's like some mommy issues, and there's some like
I don't remember it
coming of
super
age
super well. I
things.
only saw it once, but it wasn't too
Yeah,
long ago. But you've seen it like multiple times, so
yeah, and there's
yeah.
there's some like learning how to value yourself, learning how to like be, you know, how to navigate like relationships and things like that
Yeah.
I think I relate to.
Yeah.
But specifically, I like the thing that will make me like sob every single time is this moment. And it's at the very end of the movie when she goes to New York
Oh
and she's
yeah.
like alone for the first time, and like all she's been wanting the whole movie is to like leave, and then
Oh
she
yeah.
finally is gone and she's like living her New York life, and she like goes to a payphone and like calls her mom.
Oh yeah. Yeah, see that movie did cool stuff like that. Like I get that.
Yeah.
I get that.
It
Yeah.
was I do really like that movie a lot. And I don't know enough about like movies to know if it's like cinematically like
Yeah.
the best movie or like whatever. But
Uh-huh.
I think I
I
know
mean,
like I know that it touched me enough
yes. Yeah.
for me to say that it's a movie that speaks to me.
That movie
And
like did win awards. It was like
I
at
think
least
so,
in
yeah.
the nominations for like the big movie award thing. So I know that
Yeah, I think in
it was
general it is a good
critically
movie.
acclaimed like very highly.
Yeah. I do like that movie a lot. The other one that comes to mind, which again I think it's kind of the same exact vibe, is The Breakfast Club.
Oh, I love my favorite that's in the 80s, right? I consider these all
Yeah.
80s movies even if I,
Yeah.
and there are most of them are like what's his name? They're like the directed by like the same guy. Uh
John Hughes.
yeah, is Pretty in Pink. That's my
Mm-hmm.
favorite of those movies.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, something about The Breakfast Club, I saw it decently young, not like too young to get it, but
Mm.
yeah, I was definitely like 12 probably when I saw The Breakfast Club.
Oh wow. I think we were in high school, I think.
Mm.
Which I feel like is a good time to watch it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. And yeah, I remember just not like that's a movie I don't know that I necessarily relate to cuz I don't know,
I don't remember
but
it too well.
I remember thinking like this is a cool movie. I like what's being done here.
Yeah.
And I like this like coming of age thing, you know?
Yeah.
And I also like a movie that can like have a little bit of fun with the fact that it's a movie, you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
I don't know how to describe it better than that.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I think The Breakfast Club and Lady Bird are like really good examples of movies that I tend to like. I also love a good rom-com, but it has to be like a good rom-com.
Oh,
I don't know.
I have not seen enough rom-coms. I need to see more.
There are a lot that I don't like, but there are a lot that I do like.
I need to see Pretty Woman like immediately. I have not seen that one yet.
I've never seen Pretty Woman.
Oh, that's one of the like it qualifies.
It's a classic, I think.
Yeah. So yeah, we need to watch that.
Yeah, When Harry Met Sally is.
Oh yeah, I have not seen that one. Yeah.
When Harry Met Sally is really a good rom-com. Is it You've Got Mail or She's Got Mail? I don't remember, but
I don't know.
that one is very good as well. And then what is it called? Is it called The Holiday? I think it is. It's called The Holiday, and it's like a Christmas rom-com.
I feel like I've heard of that one.
But it has freaking Jack Black in it, and it's so good.
Then it's probably good if it has Jack Black in it.
It's very good.
Yeah.
That I really like that movie. So I like that genre of rom-com, a little bit more of like a classic rom-com.
Oh, I've seen the newer Joker movie. Does that count? Is that in the Marvel Cinematic Universe?
No, the Joker.
I know.
The Joker is Batman. That's DC.
Which I think I actually thought was like a really interesting movie. Like it was actually like I thought it was kind of good.
Yeah.
Did you see that one?
No.
Because it was like because it wasn't like a superhero movie. It was like an artsy like a like a movie that would win awards or whatever. Like I don't know how else to explain it. Because it wasn't. Because I remember because we watched it with Rich, and I remember him not liking it, and I think it's because he thought it was going to be like a superhero movie because it didn't have like constant action, like the super zoomed in, and like everything's fast and everything, and like I don't hate those movies. I think that they have their purpose, but I could also be pretentious and like I prefer the movies that like have wider shots, have some significant dialogue, turns, have like some like make you think a little more deeply, which like that Joker, like it made you actually think about things. It wasn't just like action, like all this stuff like happening all at once. So yeah, I think that I tend to like movies that are more like thinky. I don't know.
I definitely do too.
Yeah.
Another movie that I really like, and I think that the trend I'm setting for myself on this podcast today is that I like movies that Emma Watson is in.
I need to see more movies that Emma Watson is in.
She's a very good actress.
She's she's literally one of my favorites of all time, and I have not seen enough movies that she's in.
She is such a good actress, and also she's so pretty.
Yes, she's gorgeous. She's like definitely one of my like celebrity crushes.
Oh, same.
Like 100%. I love her.
Me too. And she was recently the Little Women adaptation.
Yeah, I actually wanted to see there's another movie that I'm like, oh, I want to see that, and then I didn't. I want to read the book first.
I actually never read the book. But I think I had seen an older adaptation.
Yeah, I think there's an older one that's pretty popular. Because I remember when this newer one came out, and I remember there being people that were, like, not super happy about it because there was already one that existed that a lot of people like. So it's like, why do you need to make it again type of thing? Yeah.
Yeah.
But then I heard it was actually pretty well received, so.
I really liked the new Little Women a lot. And there was something else. Oh, this is different.
Okay.
The other genre of movie that I like is I don't know if cheesy is the right word, but we had we had the first Mamma Mia movie on DVD when I
Oh
was a
my
kid.
god, how could I not mention Mamma Mia? I was obsessed with that movie in junior
I
high.
was, yeah, I was obsessed with that
We
movie
like
as well.
weren't allowed to go like into like other people's houses or whatever when we were young, like basically unless our mom like met their parents and like knew them or whatever.
Yeah.
But one of my best friends in junior high lived right down the street. And there was only like a few times that I went into her house and like I mean whatever. No what like what why is that an issue? But anyway, we went into her house to watch Mamma Mia.
Yeah.
And I was obsessed with it. It's been a while since I've seen it, but I definitely have seen it multiple times. I love
Yeah.
that movie. Anyway, I don't know.
Yeah,
I
I love anything that like this is what made me think of this is because I was
Yeah.
like, oh, I love anything with Emma Watson in it, and I also love anything with Meryl Streep in it.
Oh, okay. I don't know a lot about her, but I know who she is. Like I know who you're talking about. Yeah.
Yes, she is so good. Of course she's very good in Mamma Mia. And she is also really good. I don't know that I think that this is necessarily a good movie, but I think that Meryl Streep is very good in it. Is the Into the Woods movie?
There's a movie?
Yeah,
like the musical?
yeah, with Anna
Oh.
Kendrick in it.
I don't know it.
Oh,
I saw them do the musical at Pacific University. That's the first time I'd ever heard
yeah.
of it.
Um, yeah. There's a movie. It came out when we were in high school,
Oh, okay.
and Anna Kendrick played Cinderella, and Meryl
Oh.
Streep played the evil witch. And what is that guy's name? James Corden.
That sounds like it could be right.
He's like the talk show carpool
Yeah,
karaoke guy.
yeah.
Anyways, he's
Oh.
in it, and he plays the baker.
Okay.
I don't know. I saw that movie a couple of times in high school,
My god, if we're
and
talking about musicals, Phantom of the
yeah.
Opera.
Um, the freaking Gerard Butler freaking Phantom of the Opera had such a gorilla grip on me at the age of like 12.
Yeah.
I was
For me, it was high school
obsessed.
when I discovered Phantom of the Opera because there was a different kid who loved it, and I think we played some music from it, and I
Yeah.
love Phantom of the Opera. I love the
We
book,
watched.
actually.
Oh, I never read the book,
Yeah.
but
It's super
we
interesting.
in my middle school orchestra class we like watched the movie in our orchestra class.
Oh my god. That's one
And
of the rings that like it's like a halo set. It's like a diamond. It's got like a halo, like
yeah,
the wedding, the like engagement ring. That
yeah,
was like my dream engagement ring forever. Like it was still like
yeah,
that's probably one of the reasons why I like that setting was one of the settings of
yeah.
the of the ring that I was like, "Hey, I like this. This is an option." So,
I
yeah.
freaking love
Yeah.
that movie so much. Also randomly, did you know that the person who plays Christina in that movie is the girl who plays the girl from Shameless?
I've never seen Shameless.
Um
I know of it, but I've never seen it.
yeah. So you understand that they are completely different vibes.
Yes.
And I started watching Shameless and I was like, she looks so like why
That's
do I know
really
her?
funny. Yeah.
And I was like, oh my gosh, she freaking played
Yeah.
Christine in Phantom of the Opera.
Yeah. She's beautiful. That's
She is.
her vibes. I want those vibes for my wedding. I want my hair to look like her hair in that movie.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly, yeah, I can see you taking a lot of inspiration
Yeah.
from that because yeah, I freaking loved that movie. I loved Phantom of the Opera. I think it is still my favorite musical. I don't know that
Oh
for
yeah.
sure because I like a
Hands
lot of
down. Well,
musicals.
for me, hands down, because I don't dislike musicals, but I haven't seen a lot of them.
Yeah.
But like, absolutely, probably forever, Phantom of the Opera would be my favorite musical. I'm like, nothing else could be my favorite after this.
I
Although
think
the
I
Heather's
think you're
musical
right.
was good.
Yeah.
I haven't seen
I
it in real life. Jenna, when we
Yeah.
were in college, like, was Nicole there too, or was it just me? And we watched like I guess it was like someone filming Heather's the because it's not like recorded. But that's how I've seen the Legally Blonde musical and the Heather's musical. Is I think Jenna showed us like illegal videos, like someone like videotaping it like in a theater.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I have a soft spot in my heart for The Sound of Music.
I have literally never seen The Sound of Music because for some weird unknown reason we watched Seven Brides for Seven Brothers in elementary school instead of The Sound of Music when The Sound of Music is
Oh,
culturally important and not about like, I don't know, a word they
yeah,
don't want to say on the podcast.
yeah.
Like what?
Um, yeah. I very much think that The Sound of Music is one of the best like pieces of theater that has ever existed. And I like the movie with Julie Andrews a lot, but I think that the the musical itself, like the theater piece, is better.
Oh, okay. I'm sure they have like productions of it out there. I should look for one and just like see it. I think that would be super cool to experience that.
Yeah. I think it's very good. I've also played viola for it twice, and I think that just like
Oh, yeah.
always enhances I
Yeah.
my literal like I have said since I was literally 12 that my like bucket list thing, it like the top of my like things I want to do at some point in my life is play viola in the pit for Phantom of the Opera. That is like
Oh,
literally, if
yeah.
I could choose one thing to freaking do, it would be that.
Yeah. We saw it. Cuz Doris and Wayne got us tickets. It was a few years ago at this point cuz it was pre-pandemic. Um
Yeah.
and I had such a bad headache afterwards because I was trying not to cry the entire time. Like
Yeah. Yeah. Oh,
actively
I
trying
remember
not
that
to cry the entire
actually.
time. Yeah.
Yeah.
God, it was so good.
I on my 16th birthday, so exactly 8 years ago, I saw Phantom of the Opera. Actually, literally 8 years ago to the minute, right now.
Yeah.
I was seeing Phantom of the Opera on Broadway.
Oh, yeah, you've been to New York. Oh, that'd be amazing.
Yes.
I think Justin saw it in London.
Wow, that's very
Yeah,
cool
something
too.
like that. Yeah, because he did the Europe band trip. I don't know if your school had that as an option. There was like this Europe
I
band
didn't
trip
know.
thing. Because I
No,
remember,
Abe did
I
that.
remember, yeah, not
Yeah.
with Justin. That would be really funny.
Oh my
I
god,
wonder
imagine.
actually.
No, they weren't. They didn't. They
Oh,
Abe
they
is like
like,
a year older than Justin.
but it was it all just 1 year? Was it everybody from high school?
Oh, maybe.
I'm
I
gonna
don't
ask
know.
him now.
Anyways, we're
Yeah.
gonna find out.
Anyways, yeah. Movies. I mean, oh my god, I didn't realize this would be a longer conversation. I keep
I
thinking
guess it is.
of more significant movies to me as I was growing up. Men in
Yeah.
Black was weirdly significant to me as a kid.
Hmm.
Did you see the
I
Men
think
in
I
Black
do.
movies? Specifically the first one?
Oh, I don't know. I don't think I've seen it.
Oh, it's I to me, it's like culturally significant in terms of movies. Like if someone wants to be
Mm,
literate in movie, they need to see Men in
yeah.
Black.
I'm sure that there are a
Personally.
lot of movies that way
Yeah.
that I need to
Did
see
you
that I
see the
have not.
Pirates of the Caribbean movies?
I've seen the first one. I know that.
Oh, I love those movies, unironically. And I
Yeah.
know that like what is it? The first 3, I think, or maybe 4 that are like pretty good, at least like the first 3. And then I saw like the most recent one, I think like on the plane to England, and I was like, this isn't as good. But specifically, I think the first like 3, I think, are like I freaking love those movies. I love Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yes. They are good movies. I will give you that. Okay, I am gonna cut us off because
Yes.
we need to stop talking.
Yeah.
But I maybe we'll do a movies part 2 because obviously we have a lot to say.
Yeah, I guess we should pick something specific like musicals or kid
Yeah, yeah,
movies or something like that. Yeah,
yeah.
totally.
We can do something like that.
Yeah.
We could even do a top 10 movies list or something like that.
Oh
But
yeah, that'd be fun. We're good at those. The top 10
yeah, yeah.
lists.
We
Yeah.
do be loving to make
Yeah.
a little list.
Yeah.
Um. All right. Well, I was wanting to do a costume in question today, but
You don't have to if you're
I
not feeling it.
I think I do have to cut us off because I have people coming to my house any moment now.
Okay. Okay.
Well, anyways, until we speak again,
Yeah.
I love you so much.
I love you too. I hope we get to watch a movie together sometime.
Yeah, we should do that. We haven't done that
Yeah.
in a long time.
Yeah.
All right. Bye.
Bye.